Hey folks. Thought I'd start this episode with a warning. This is probably the most genuinely autistic argument we've ever had, let alone on the channel. No matter how cringe we normally are, this is way worse. It's good for the first 20 minutes and it then slowly devolves. I'm also making this sound way more intense than it is, but we also constantly give each other shit. And while we are still good friends and everyone argues from time to time. We got over this the next day and in hindsight it's very funny. But it also feels super weird listening to it again, and while I won't cut it because I always believe it's important to stay raw, hot. Anyway, just wanted to let you know we're all still friends. Leave if you don't wanna hear your internet daddies fight over one of them taking a nap.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Hit Podcast, back at the Short Plus Podcast on YouTube.com. I am your sorry shit host, Captain Neckbeard. Hello. Will the only other individual who decided to show the fuck up say hello?
Hi, I exist. He keeps me in his
Eh.
basement. He won't let me out.
You think we have basements, you dipshit? You just fell into a really big pothole.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I just happened to put a comedically large pan lid over top.
Oh, where are we getting these fan lids again?
I don't know. I get them off eBay. Where you get
Yeah.
everything.
That makes sense.
So anyway, now that we know about it, do you think we? So sorry. Context for the people at home: we were talking about Mardi Gras and Gasparilla for shits and giggles. Do you think next year you would want to join Gasparilla as a pirate? Because I think that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We have to get actual scurvy though. Like we have to eat nothing but bread and like beef jerky for like a month ahead of time, and then just get actual real life scurvy.
I don't know about that.
Yes. Is exactly what we need to do. Okay, give me one reason we shouldn't go full realism like that.
Because I can
Not like
mess with our body.
leprosy. Are there any long-term side effects to scurvy?
Do you want me to Google it?
I'm Googling it. You play your GTA like a bitch.
You're the one who made me get it.
Effects with an E or effects with an A? I think it's E. Of
I don't know.
scurvy. I don't know. For several months. Okay, so we'll have to really get into character here. Vitamin C deficiency, a range of symptoms can occur, including anemia, other fancy word, bone pain, easy bruising, swelling, funny word, gum disease, poor wound healing, and depression. So not like a lot of things, and late term stages of scurvy could be life threatening, I guess. With an
Yeah.
immediate treatment, you'll be fine. Symptoms of scurvy should pass within 24 to 48 hours. Done.
I still don't trust that.
Dental and gum issues, as well as corkscrew hairs, may take weeks or months to disappear. So that's fine.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for dear old Gobble here.
You don't want to get. You're telling me little goblin man doesn't want to get scurvy? You fucking pussy.
Yes.
You don't want to get some fucking scurvy? You really commit to the bit here.
I can commit to a bit, but I'm not gonna do that.
Can't commit to some fucking scurvy. Imagine. How can you even call yourself a goblin if you don't want to get scurvy?
Goblins don't go on the sea.
Do goblins eat oranges? Huh?
No.
There you go. Scurvy.
What?
Where's
I
it?
said no.
Correct. Do you not know what scurvy is?
No.
You're a fucking moron.
Correct.
Scurvy is when you don't eat like citrus and you don't get vitamin C.
Oh.
So if you don't eat fruit and oranges, you get scurvy.
Hmm.
Do you understand?
Now I do.
Okay. So, let's commit to the bit and get scurvy.
I'm still gonna say no.
You're a fucking pussy.
I mean,
Why you gotta be like this?
I'm weird.
You-
I don't
If you
fucking
were a
know.
real man, you would get scurvy with me. I thought we were
Oh my
bros. I
god.
thought you were my best friend. But yeah, now I'm really starting to reconsider. If you won't even join me on such a simple adventure. We were gonna live together. We were gonna move in together. How can I trust a man who won't even get scurvy with me? Hmm? How am I supposed to
Because you know I'll
emotionally
be healthy.
adapt? Maybe. But how do I know I can trust you, huh? Maybe you're playing the long con. Maybe you're waiting for me to get scurvy so you can fight me when my gums are all fucked up and I have depression. Is that your long-term plan? You're waiting for me to catch scurvy so you can fucking kill me? I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
No.
I'm fucking on to you, you piece of shit. It's from the very beginning, since day one. This has been your plan. I always fucking knew it. Always fucking knew you were a
Why
traitor.
can
From the
why can't I
very
check out
beginning, I
my
knew it
private
was too good to
letter?
be true.
One
You
second.
and me being friends like this, I knew there had to be some catch.
No.
You
I don't know what
sick
you're talking about.
bastard. You fucking disgust me.
No, I don't. You love me.
Well, can I? Can I trust you even?
Yes.
Do I even really know who you are as a person at all? Do I
Yeah.
know who you are if you won't get scurvy with a bro? I sent you a picture of my balls earlier. Where's my reciprocation, huh?
You know what? You're right.
How can I trust you at all in this fucking world, huh? First, now you got blackmail on me. Now you got scurvy on me. Nothing is sacred to you. I showed up for your birthday yesterday and gave you a fleshlight and coffee. And you've given me nothing but distrust and fear and paranoia. How could you? Thought we were homies.
Uh, you love me?
But is that misplaced love? Like how an alcoholic loves a good liquor?
Good
Or how a
liquor's nice
heroin
though.
addict loves the ability to sit in a nice dark room and just relax?
No.
How far can my trust be put
Really,
until how
really.
often
So
how
for
often
for
must my
for
trust
for you
be
people at home, for you people at home. So he
Huh. No, don't worry
so
about it. It's an
he early
unimportant
no.
factors.
Earlier he sent me a picture of his dick and balls. And since he
No,
was
just my
complaining
balls.
about
I'm
it,
a gentleman. Just my
so in
balls. I'm a
return,
gentleman.
I just sent him a picture. This motherfucker screenshots it.
I, I immediately screenshotted, yeah. Oh, that's really fucking funny.
Motherfucker, can I
I
trust you?
I immediately deleted
Huh?
it. I just wanted the screenshot notification.
Ah, sure, sure, sure.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I? Or
Well,
am I lying to you? Who knows? Can you
you
trust me
might
ever?
be.
You could never trust
No,
me again.
I could never trust you to begin with.
That hurts. That hurts
Am I
my.
wrong though? How many times have you gaslit me and then
Why?
proceeded to show up my house?
The truth always comes out at the end.
No, it doesn't.
Name one time I haven't told you the truth at the end.
You show me the truth. You don't tell me the truth.
I tell you the truth. I walk in, then I call you a dipshit for believing me again. That feels pretty
Mother.
old, pretty telly. Pretty fucking telling there, ain't it?
No.
Huh. All right, I
Did I
see how
just
it is.
start off? Oh, I do start off with a gun. How do I
Are
put
you
gun
playing?
away?
Oh, how's GTA 5 going?
I just really started.
Are you still in the what is it
No.
called?
I went into online mode now. Oh, there we go.
I'm
I forget.
texting racial slurs to oh shit
Shiitake.
Shiitake. Thank you. I'm sorry. I have like
Mhm.
3 different nicknames for him. Hold on. I have to send a picture to my mother of me doing a half heart. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My mother sent. I was talking to my mother about Gasper a little bit ago. I mean, you were there for it, obviously.
Mhm.
Uh, but for those folks who weren't, now you know. If you
Should I
don't
go rob a
know,
store?
now you know. N- What's up?
Should I go rob a store?
Aren't you still in the middle of a bank robbery?
No, I completed the story enough to go to online mode.
Oh, already? Damn.
Mhm. I smooth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So should I go rob a store?
Straight wild and. So did I tell
Tell me.
you? Did I tell you why I actually went to the gym today? Because I know in the last episode was that when was the last episode? A week ago. I
Mhm.
mentioned the me working out thing, and then
Mhm.
immediately
You
stopped
did.
going to the gym again.
Oh,
I, I mean, to be fair, I've also been busy doing shit and whatnot, but
like we all have.
I've just completely neglected to go to the gym. Um, so so I was hanging out on Discord, and I'm in the a Discord channel from iFunny, where they
Mhm.
do D&D and stuff. Great place. And they were talking about like everyone in the server in like a mega fight to the death and shit. And then randomly, because I don't talk very actively in Discord chats for the most part, but they were randomly like, yeah, well, this motherfucker would easily beat the shit out of all of us. And then they started pitting me against random people in the fucking the random thing. Like I wasn't mentioned to the conversation until the owner of the server was like, because one of them was getting a little too big for his britches, and then they just went, "Yeah, but what about this motherfucker?" And then they repost one of my old photos of me next to my family, where I'm like, they're all below my shoulder, because I have,
Yeah.
you know, gigantism.
Mhm. Do you actually?
No, legally I
Okay.
don't. I'm close. I'm close. I'm 6 inches away. I'm closer to being a giant than you are to being a midget. So
Damn.
yeah. Um, which
Wait,
really
I don't.
sucks. I would absolutely love to be legally considered a giant.
Oh no, there's an actual thing called giantism.
Yeah, there's a legal. It's technically considered a disease. It's called gigantism, and it's anyone who's above 7 foot tall. But I'm
Well,
not, so I can't be.
well, I have a friend that has giantism, or at least he told me he did.
How tall is he?
I want to say he's around the same height as
And
you.
he's a lying piece of shit.
Well, you do know who he is. He's my D&D person.
Sonny?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say his
Sonny
name.
apps for
How do I?
starters. I know the man he's talking about directly, but it's been years. For starters, Sonny is nowhere near as tall as me, and second of all, does not in any way, shape, or form have gigantism. He's a fucking lying twink. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
anyway,
I've been told
one of
that
the
he
dudes was
does.
just talking about how he could beat the shit out of everyone with a single broadsword. And they were arguing the difference between a sword and a shield versus a great sword. Um, And then he said, my Discord name is Husky. Husky. And he said, Husky versus Blue is a matchup the equivalent to a wrecking ball versus a porta potty. And then they were like, I could kick his shit. And then he's like, I'm not weak or whatever. I could kick the shit out of him. He's like, you're not weak. He's just not as strong. And then they started posting memes about me beating the shit out of him. And then they found the picture of me next to my family. And it immediately goes from I could kick the shit out of him to like, I mean, I could probably beat him, which was that was really funny. And granted, I haven't gone to the
Well,
gym in consistently at least in like a year. But I posted a video of me doing my 500-pound squats for shits and giggles. And they went, "All right, well, listen here, you little shit." It was very funny. It was a great ego booster. Anyway, so them doing all this, they like we've now decided that in 3 months, me and this dude on Discord are gonna meet up and beat the shit out of each other MMA style.
Fuck yeah.
So I've been given 3 months to buff up. So I
Okay.
went to the gym. I
Yeah.
gave them let me pull up the list again. But I gave them 5.
So
Yeah, what's up?
I think I experienced what you were talking about.
Oh, are you talking about on GTA 5 Online?
Yeah.
Are you talking about that fucking retard with a dynamite or whatever?
No, everybody just exploded.
Damn, that's crazy. Almost like I fucking
Like,
warned you. But
yeah, you did. But like, no joke, everybody just died.
rip.
And it was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
However, now my bank account suddenly skyrocketed. The
Yeah.
fuck?
I warned you. Shit's broken. Anyway. Where the fuck is it? I know I put it somewhere.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck off.
Ending here. I realize I shit my pants and it made me fly. But anyway, whatever. It's
Guy looked at me funny with while in a car, thinking that he was going to try to run me over, and I kind of just said, "No, no, I'm going to shoot at you until you leave me the fuck alone."
that's fair.
And now the cops are on me.
That sounds a bit gay.
I agree.
Here it is.
So I'm hiding on a roof.
So I gave 5 options because I was like, you guys motivated me to go to the gym for shits and giggles. Also, I found out I'm approximately the same size as this really fat character from Tekken. Hold on.
That's cool.
Tekken. Technically, he's yeah, this guy.
Okay,
He's
that did not work as well as I had hoped.
so his name's like Bob or some shit. It's Robert Richards. He's like 6'5" and like 345 pounds, I think he is, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks like this big ass bitch right here, and I just thought it was really funny. Um,
Where are you sending it?
put it in photo ideas like always.
Okay.
Which is just really funny. Just a nice, which is weird because he would absolutely not look like that. Just FYI, as somebody who's a big fat bitch, a- and about that tall, he looks way too fat. But I mean, whatever. What do I give a
Oh,
shit? But anyway,
yeah.
I was like, I'm motivated to go work out now. So I gave them 5 choices. 1 was cardio, 2 was upper body, 3 was legs, 4 was core, and 5 was a mix of all of them. And I said, I'll do whatever. Whoever answers first, I'll do that one. And then this motherfucker who was the guy who I said I could, or everyone said that I could beat the shit out of him because he's a little bitch. Was like, 1, I want you
Mm-hmm.
to suffer. I want you to do cardio. Like, you're a bitch, but okay. So then I went and ran for 3.5 miles on different machines, and I hated it. But I'm done now.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm done now.
ammo on ammo and magazine on right, not left.
Correct. So anyway, that was done. Dumb.
I have 3 shots left.
Stop playing fucking GTA 5 online.
No, I
We're
want
doing an
to.
episode, you little bitch.
And I'm
Are
participating.
you?
I'm participating more than Shiitake.
Damn, you right. He still hasn't responded either. He was the first one in the call, and then I said I had to take a shit, and then I went and took a shit. I came back, and then he's just been gone for over an hour. 'Cause we were supposed to start at 6. It's now 7:47, and he has not responded to me in an hour. So everyone in the comments make fun of Shiitake for being a cunt. I'm gonna try and call him again. Let's try and call him again. Still nothing. Still nothing.
Yeah, I
Went
hear
the
that.
whole ring and nothing. Absolute rat bastard. Oh, he looked at it. Oh, there he is, that stupid fucking cunt.
I'm tired. I fell asleep. That's how long it took.
Bro. It literally didn't. I took a 5-minute shit. You were already gone.
I fell asleep.
Mm.
I was dead asleep.
You fell asleep at 6:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a bitch are you?
No, more like I've been running around all day and I'm tired.
That is the hardest cope I've ever heard.
That's not the hardest cope because I'm dealing with all my family shit.
And that's crazy. Cope harder. Well, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for showing up, actually, now. All it took was calling you a shitload of times. But welcome. Glad
Yeah.
waking me up.
you're fucking here now. Glad you're with us. So,
I really don't want to be here.
what else is new? When have you ever wanted to be here?
No, there's been times. It's just I'm too tired now.
Have you considered not being tired?
No, I can't be. I'm not tired.
Why? You're always tired.
I can't reverse the physical wear and tear to my body done throughout the
It's
day.
called sleeping. You absolutely can. Also, it's called not being a little bitch. Have you considered that?
First off, I was doing that first thing, and then you woke me
Yeah,
up.
because we had pre-made plans all day, and then you just decided to be a little bitch boy.
And people kept extending that time to like whatever they felt like.
It's actually
Actually,
nowhere near true.
no.
That is complete and utter
What are you
bullshit.
talking about?
I said that I would get home. I never said anything about
The original,
dinner.
I said, "What's everyone?" Here, fuck you. We got evidence up in this bitch. I can just scroll back up through our group chat and call your ass out. Call you out on my Twitter.com.
We literally
I
said
said
5:30 to 6.
episode tonight ? And then you said I can do that. And then Clone said he can do that. And I said let's say 5. And then he said I can't do that. What about 5:30 to 6? I said okay, and I say let's say 6 or whenever I get back from the gym, whatever's first. 6 was first, by the way. I got back a little after. Actually, I got back around 6:02. You responded okay. I respond, I'm home, by the way. We start whenever. You responded, okay. And then what happened? You went to bed. How crazy is that? You
And
knew.
also, I never said
was
that I would
awake
be able to
You
and
do.
you
fell
not
asleep
only
after
knew
that.
when the episode was, you agreed on 3 separate occasions. You little
I was in the call. What are you
fucking
talking
lying
about?
whore. You left the call to sleep.
No, I didn't leave the call.
Yes, you did.
It kicked me.
Okay. Have you considered doing what I
I
do?
was still in the
Have you
call.
considered doing what I do, which is just leaving the fucking lights on? Not sitting in a dark room laying in bed? Because even while I was there, I'd like to mention for the ladies and gentlemen at home, uh, I literally went and took a 5-minute shit and he was immediately passed the fuck out. So he was prepared to sleep. This wasn't like I've been gone for 6 hours and he happened to nod off. He went and fucking power napped. Some people can't even try to sleep that fast.
No.
I wish I could sleep that fast.
Can if I feel like it.
No.
I just don't feel like it often.
Just happened.
Have you considered waking the fuck up?
You can go fuck
You
yourself.
go fuck yourself, you little shit. You agreed on 3 separate occasions this time. If you said you were tired, we could have just rescheduled. But no. No.
I literally was here before all of you, and then like now you're giving me shit about it.
Don't give a shit.
Because
You
you
could
didn't
show up
stay.
6 hours early to a
I-
recording. If you're not there when we actually start, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't
What?
matter how early you are if you don't fucking show up on time. We waited.
I think he's
Both
what
of
he
us
means
waited.
to say is staying.
Yeah. We both started this call. Me and Gabo started this call at 7:20 in the afternoon. That is an hour and a half later because we waited from 6:20 to when we started. We waited a full hour. Called you, texted you, nothing.
That
What is your rebuttal, my good sir? As we call.
So you waited a whole hour and then started the podcast?
Yeah, because we assumed you were just not coming back. You weren't responding.
I fell asleep. If you already heard me asleep, that would kind of tell you. You literally were saying that you heard.
When did I hear you asleep?
You said I nodded off.
No, I said you didn't nod off.
What are you
I
talking about?
literally said you fell asleep within 5 minutes of me taking a shit.
Literally, the last thing I remember was you taking a shit, watching the Rush. I muted my mic.
And then you passed the fuck out. 'Cause I came back.
So you heard me
No.
asleep.
How
You
would he have
muted your
heard you
mic, you
asleep
retard.
if you muted yourself?
You just said you muted your mic. How could I hear you asleep?
Oh
There
my
you go.
Then how'd you guess that I was asleep?
We didn't.
We
assumed you
didn't.
left.
We
assumed you were ignoring us.
No.
How the fuck were we supposed to know?
You know I'm always quick to respond.
One, while you were still in the call, you were muted. Then you had left the call randomly. And then weren't responding to me. So I just assumed you up and left. It's not like you had your
No, I
mic
didn't.
on and I just heard me like a fucking cartoon character. I heard nothing. I had no evidence. On the contrary. So I just sat here and was playing on iFunny for the past hour while talking to Clone about Mardi Gras.
But you know I'm not gonna fucking not
But you didn't.
answer you back.
But you didn't.
Wouldn't that entail something? Wouldn't that entail something like, oh shit, if he's not answering me back, there's something going on?
Yeah, we assumed you left.
No.
Well, okay, what were we supposed to infer from this then?
Well, I haven't shown that I wanted to the podcast, so I don't understand where this even came from.
Oh, wait, say that again real quick.
Never had sentiment to leave the podcast.
Okay. So
I've never had sentiment to leave the pod.
So interesting.
Just drop out of.
All right. So then when you don't show up randomly and you go missing and are unresponsive, it's almost like we thought something had happened. It's almost like we were worried for you and tried to get your attention in any way, shape, or form. But we both live at least 30 minutes away, and I live an hour and a half away. Not like I could go check on my buddy. So what did we assume? Something had happened and you had left to go do something. So we had started talking. And then we got bored talking alone. So we brought good old Craig to join us. And then I called you again live on air, which weirdly enough woke you up this time. Interesting. First couple times I called, nothing.
Yeah, because my
Now?
phone was right next to me.
Oh, so then why didn't you wake up the first time we called? Huh? Hmm?
I'm
Hmm.
I was knocked out totally.
Ah, you were knocked out totally.
Yeah, I'm tired.
But so then why
I've
did
been
you
running errands
then why the second time did you
all
wake
day.
up then? Hmm?
What do you mean
I'm
the
just
second
saying that
time?
your whole story sounds
What do you-
Gabo, can you agree with me on this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
All sounds real fucking weird.
Dude, what do you
Real strange.
and then you text me nigger join.
But weirdly enough, that worked. You joined for that.
No, I joined back after my phone kept buzzing for the second time.
Oh, so an entire call and a single text message. Attention, huh? So did your phone have volume or no?
No, I just woke up. No, not on Snapchat.
Oh,
Like a regular phone call, yes. But
so you're didn't you just
you
you
have my phone
just
number. I don't know why
had
you're like
vibrations.
acting like
Okay. Uh-huh. So what I'm hearing is in your claim.
Snapchat
So what
does
I'm hearing
vibrations.
is
My phone does actual playing
so what I'm
audio.
hearing is the vibrations.
You know
So what I'm
Snapchat
hearing is
doesn't
so
have
what
a
I'm hearing
ringtone.
is what I'm hearing is the vibrations of my call woke you up, but only last time I called you, not the first time I called you, not when I texted you, not when Clone. Did you actually wind up texting him like I asked or no?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Never
So
did.
only the second time when I called you.
I don't recall you asking me, but I don't know.
Well, I said we should.
No, it
I
doesn't
said we
show
should
my
harass
logs
him about it,
whatsoever.
and then whatever. Anyway, so interesting. Very finicky is all I'm saying. It's very interesting that doing the exact same thing got
This has happened in the past. I don't know what
It's
you
just
are on
interesting
about.
that, two different things got two completely different reactions.
This is,
The same thing twice. Well,
what
I
are you
called
talking
you
about?
once and it did nothing. Called you the second time and all of a sudden you woke up. Very interesting. And then you play the victim in this game, not us, the friends who were worried about your well-being and were upset
Bro,
that we couldn't start like we
that-
had planned. No, why would we be, worried or anything? Why what do we care, you know?
this is the most fucking manipulation
Mhm.
tactics
Absolute
ever,
Gabo, do you agree
motherfucker.
with me in
You-
this?
I
Thank you.
completely agree. Yeah.
You
What the
agreed. You
fuck are
had
you guys
agreed on
on
3
about?
separate occasions that
Yes,
you agreed.
and
No, no, no,
the
no.
fucking thing, I was here before you
I
two, and I just put my mic
Okay,
on mute
okay.
because I didn't want you hearing
Okay,
my
here's the thing.
YouTube
You
shit.
said you were here before me. You were here before me by about 30 seconds while I was setting up my microphone. And then I
No,
immediately joined.
I was here longer.
No, you said to the group chat, "I'm on."
I was in waiting room for a while.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Sure.
Sure. What?
So, either way, we had agreed on 3 separate occasions to 6 o'clock. I had joined at 6:02. All right? Slightly late? No.
No,
Yes.
because
Yes.
no,
But
no,
no.
no. Because the time I texted and when I said I was in the call was 6:18. How could you come at 6:02?
What are you talking about?
Because that's when I was alone.
Yeah, you
Look at the
yeah,
timestamps
you
of
were in
Snapchat.
waiting room.
Yes, I was in exactly what I just.
Correct. I'm sorry, not 6:02, 6:10. I joined at 6:10, not 6:02.
No, because when I texted, I was alone in the call still at
Okay.
6:18.
You
No
joined
one was
waiting
there.
room. What
Yeah,
channel are we what
What do
channel
you
are
think
we
waiting room for?
currently in?
We were in
No,
waiting room
I
when you joined.
joined correct. I joined waiting
You
room.
joined waiting room.
I was in live. I wasn't.
You were not in live. I didn't see you
live.
at all.
Because that's the same
What are
thing
you-
me and Gabo were in while we were waiting. Gabo, can you once again confirm? Yeah, we were waiting
Yep.
in live. And you, of course, went missing. I don't know why you were in waiting room, by the way. That was very interesting.
Because what the fuck is it meant for? Waiting room.
Before we introduce them. So anyway, once again. So again, all right. We'll cut some slack on that or whatever. Either way, I joined very shortly after, undeniably shortly after your call, in which we talked, and then I said I have to go take a shit. I can tell you
And I
the
said,
exact
okay.
amount of time that it took me to take my shit because I was texting somebody at the time. So, let me go take a little look-sees here. Get my specifics up. And from, excuse me, let me go. Let's just go here. Let's scroll my ass up through all this shit. And no. Wait. Right. So, from 6:18 to 6:23 p.m. this fine day, I was taking the fattest of shits in my bathroom. Which would anyone, would either of you like to tell me how much time is between those two integers? How much time is in between that? Counting the time itself. It is much. Go ahead. I'll let you answer. 6:18 to 6:23.
Six 18 to what?
6:23.
6:23.
Yep.
Fuck.
Which is how much? How long? 5 minutes? 5 minutes. So in the 5 minutes, because I talked to you briefly before. I was very briefly told you I had to plug in my mic and then take a shit. It didn't take very long.
Yeah, and I told you,
Correct.
okay.
You were conscious. You were
And then
conscious. You
Gabo
were
texted-
lucid, and you were speaking to me very briefly
And-
before I had to go take my shit. And then 5 minutes.
And then Gabo
5 minutes. Yep.
texted us, dinner is
Correct.
dinner
and then
is
5
coming.
minutes pass.
Or dinner is
5 minutes pass. 5 lonesome minutes, and I return to a call with a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, I might say, in a waiting room with a muted mic. Well, I finish.
Yeah, because
I
I didn't
finished
want you
setting up
hearing the
my
music
mic.
stuff.
I say, "Hello, friend, are you there? Hey, bud, what's up? You there? Why are you muted?" No response. Hey, can you hear me? Is my mic working? Is something wrong? No response. I leave the call. I join another call with some other friends, the ones that I was talking to at the time, and I said, "Hey, is my mic working? Just checking." They're like, "Yeah, what the fuck do you want, dipshit?" And I went, "Nothing. That's all." And I left. I came back, and I started yelling a little bit. "Hey, can you hear me? I'm here, buddy. Hey, what's up?" No response. I sat here and waited. You left the call
So yeah, I
about
fell
10
asleep
minutes
at
later.
6:23.
You left the call. Nothing.
I
Then
didn't
Gabo
touch
joined
anything.
back. Nothing. I called you. Nothing. An hour passes. We start the episode. Why not? You know, maybe you're not coming back. Maybe something happened with family. Maybe he got hurt. Who knows? We didn't. We start the episode. I thought, why not? We'll give him one last shot. Maybe he didn't have his phone on him. His mother asked him for some help. Who knows? I call you once more. Let it ring out for as long as it can. No response. Didn't pick up the phone. A couple of minutes pass. Maybe not even that long. Maybe about a minute. You joined the call. Explain. Explain. How?
Let me because I can pull up from when I actually posted because I was scrolling TikTok, so
So
I left
how
a
did you go
comment on someone's page.
bed within such a short time?
No, I was TikTok and watching YouTube at the
So you
same
had two
time.
different
Wow.
forms of stimulation, and yet little sleepy Billy here went to bed within 5 minutes. Two
Yes,
different
because I'm
watching YouTube
tired.
and TikTok. That's very interesting. A lot of things going on there, wouldn't you say? A lot of different activities to kind of keep your brain active, wouldn't you say? And yet you slumbered. You left us all in the dark. And then you come here and you play the fiddle of a victim. What about us? What about
I left the
me and
comment an hour
Gabo?
ago.
What about our emotional turmoil? What about our worries of you? Hmm? You claim to bitch because you're tired. You didn't want to be here today, despite having on 3 separate occasions agreed.
No,
That
I
is
didn't say I didn't
Gabo,
want to be here. What are
Gabo,
you talking about? I did
Gabo.
not say I didn't want to be here.
Can you confirm or deny?
Mm, I'm not saying either because you know on how fucky wucky my
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you can hear
memory is.
you can re-listen to this at any point.
They literally had me say I
Yeah,
wanted to be
they do.
here.
Interesting.
Why would I agree to this
Why did
episode
you
if I
agree to
didn't
this
want to be here?
episode? Only followed by sleeping. That is the question, isn't it? It's almost like that's what this whole ordeal is about. It isn't a
Well, I'm
no,
waiting
no,
on
no,
you guys
no, 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 no,
have to
no,
time.
no, no.
I
You
was.
weren't.
What are you talking about? It's not
You
like you can skip
you
over that
waited.
fact and be like,
You
"Oh, it's
waited
your
maybe 2 minutes for me to
fault
join the
now."
call. I had joined the call. I was busy setting shit up. I had warned you ahead of time. I had warned
You
you
didn't
ahead
wait
of
2 minutes.
time.
You got the time wrong
I had
even
warned you
if.
ahead of time that you would also agree to, that it was a possibility that I might be a little late, and you said, "Okay." And then Gabo said he was definitely gonna be late, he had to eat dinner. Well, he was eating still. You knew he was eating still, in fact. But little old me, no, not me. I was right there with you. We were talking. We had a little moment of interaction while I set everything up. I talked through the little shitty mic on my computer.
You
Yeah, what's up?
just said to me, you
Mhm.
literally just said to me, "I have to go get my mic and take a
Yep.
shit. I'll be back."
I so you but
And
did you
left.
acknowledge it? Did you agree to that fact? So, okay, you said
I
okay.
said,
You said
"Okay."
okay.
And that
You said
that just
okay.
still means
You
I'm
said
waiting
Very
on
okay.
good.
you guys.
You
That
said
only
okay.
proves my point
You
Uh-huh.
versus
said
yours.
okay, which means you were acknowledging and accepting of the fact. 5 lonesome minutes pass. And what? 5 little itty bitty minutes pass. I return, hoping that we could start a chat, start a dialogue, you know? Really start to get the ball rolling before we brought old Craig on into here. You know, really wanted to get the juices flowing creatively. Well, what's that? You're not responding anything. You're not there. Why? Well, then you just up and leave. Well, that's interesting. All right, well maybe he had to go do something. Who knows? And then Gabo joins
I
very
didn't
shortly
up
after.
and
Gabo's
leave, that's
actually
the
been here
thing.
for a while. Gabo.
You cannot
Stop
get
in the-
kicked within 5 minutes of being alone
Gabo
on a
Gabo and I
server
have been talking
VC.
since at minimum. Or I'm sorry, at minimum 7:19. That's when I posted the pictures of Gasparilla and Mardi Gras. And we had been talking for easily what 30 minutes beforehand, give or take, something like that. Not too long. A little bit of time
Something like
beforehand. We
that.
were just chatting. You were talking about GTA 5. We were having a great time. So from the time I returned from shitting,
Hmm?
Gabo joining a call was maybe 3 minutes. 3 minutes total. Not very long at all. We didn't even reach 6:30 yet. And yet You drifted off. You had us wait for an entire hour, though our combined efforts of tardiness,
So you're complaining that when you made me
our
wait, and that
combined
actually
waiting, me and Gabo, supersedes your couple minutes of waiting by at least fourfold.
that wasn't a couple. What?
If you, if you
That wasn't
you
a couple
agreed
minutes of waiting.
that at 6:18 we were both in the call talking.
That I was still
did,
no, you weren't
'cause
in
I
the
told
call
you.
yet.
I didn't.
You
I
joined
joined
like 2
immediately
minutes after.
because I had just sent the text to the other friends I was talking to. Because I was talking about the fucking they're doing what is it called? Not Game of Thrones. Shit. The thing we did. The Starvation Battle, Hunger Games. They're doing a Hunger Games competition and we were talking about it because I died. I was getting pissy. Anyway, not the point. Point being is I was talking to them on my computer Discord the exact same time I joined here, which was the Covenant 6:18. And not only that, 6:18 is exactly, well, almost exactly 1 hour from the 7:19 postings of Gasparilla and Mardi Gras, into which only me and Clone were there. So at least under an hour. Can you at least agree to that? Under an hour? Ah, silence. Why?
You started the
Correct.
call at
We
7:27.
started
You
the
said you
call
started
actually a little
correct
bit after
at
talking about Mardi
7:27.
Gras. We were just sitting and chatting, and we were like, "Well, we might as well. We didn't know if you're coming back. For all we know, you're dead. For all we know, old shit take here just fell down a flight of stairs while listening to TikTok. We don't know.
I don't
You
have
have
stairs in my
stairs in your
house.
house.
You know
You
this.
have two. You have two.
No, I do not.
Your front door.
What do you mean
You
two?
have two to your front door.
That's not a
Amount-
staircase.
Gabo, would you agree that 2 stairs makes a set of stairs?
It's not a staircase, Gobble, at all. I could literally send a picture
Okay, go do it.
in chat of my front
Dox
door.
yourself.
Now, here's the thing. Here's
Not
the
a
thing.
flight of stairs.
Man didn't say staircase.
Yeah, a flight
He
of
said
stairs is at minimum
stairs.
16 stairs, which I didn't say.
I don't-
I just said stairs.
I don't
You
want
have
stairs.
stairs. You have two. You have more than one stair. Therefore, you have stairs. You have more than
What are
one
you
stair.
talking-
Therefore, you have stairs. Plural of stairs. For all I know, you had to go take your dog
That's
out.
not a
Tripped, fell,
stair.
snapped, broke your neck, and died. Who knows? What could have happened within that 5 minutes that I was taking a shit? What was the things that transpired within that 5 minutes of you watching YouTube and TikTok? Two things that you would think would help you keep awake, really grab your attention. You'd be watching YouTube video. You're watching the Russian Badger, right? You said the Russian Badger? Is that correct?
Yeah.
How far do you think you've gotten to
Call of
that?
Duty.
That Russian. Oh,
Oh, I finished the
you
video, and
finished it.
then
You finished it while I was taking
it
a shit.
went
Oh,
on
and you started
to
Moist
Moist
Critical.
Critical.
Oh, okay. All right. What were you watching on Moist Critical?
it
Oh,
was
you were
about
watching
YouTuber drama.
YouTuber trouble. Were you talking about the Australian guy?
No, it's not about Jordy. It's
Oh,
about
okay.
Brent Rivera.
Interesting. Oh, the 8 minutes and 58-second long video. This drama had a happy ending. That one? Is that the correct one? Happened about 6 hours ago. Was uploaded. Is that the thing you're talking
Yeah, the drama is
yeah.
finally over.
So you'd
or
think
whatever.
the 8
Yeah.
minutes or 8 minutes 58 seconds, almost 9 minutes. We'll just call it 9 minutes for simplicity's sake. Let's just say the 9-minute video couldn't keep you entertained and energetic for 5 minutes. The TikToks that you were indulging yourself also alongside could not keep you conscious.
No, I stopped the
We'll just
TikToks
call the
after.
video then. A simple video of Mr. Moist Charlie could not keep you entertained for 5 minutes. Me returning
No,
while
I
you were
usually
still in the
call
call.
simple
Now, tell
videos.
me. I don't know too much about your setup. Tell me, Do you wear headphones, earbuds? Do you just kinda let it free out the speakers? How do you listen to it?
No.
Do you listen to Discord? No.
Stop trying
I'm
to
just
fucking
asking the que I just
interrogate
wanna make
me. I
sure
just
we're
listened to
getting
you.
I'm just
You're
making sure we're
interrogating me.
getting all
Shut the
the
fuck
facts
up. I know
and
what
everything.
interrogations are. You're like literally interrogating me, and I hear
Gabo, I
your
can't help
smirk
but notice, is
behind
it
the
just me or
fucking
is he
mic.
avoiding the
Stop
question
your
right now? It really feels like
stop your
he's
shit.
not wanting to answer. He's really not
I
wanting to
believe
answer
he
here, are
is.
you?
You
Okay.
guys know my
Well,
setup.
okay.
I don't have
Answer
headphones.
Okay, so
I
you're just
just
listening
use
through the speakers on your
speakers.
phone. How loud would you say the speakers are on your computer? I say I'm a very loud individual. What about you guys? What do you think? I'm a pretty loud guy. I got a pretty high quality microphone. I try to talk with a
You're
decent
trying
no,
to act
I
like a
try to talk
fucking
with a
Southern
decent
lawyer
amount of
that has a
exposure
law
in my
degree from
lungs, wouldn't you
Harvard,
say?
and
Gabo, how on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like a rock
I would
concert and 1 being like a whisper, where would you say I fell?
like these
Where would you say I
these
fell,
speakers are
Gabo?
not good.
I would say you're a
Okay, alright, I can
confident
take a confidence 6.
6.
So
Confident 6
oh,
leaning
you know
towards
what? I thank
7
you very much.
almost.
So, Shiitake, you said your speakers aren't very good, is that so? What volume do you currently have on your computer? What's your it's on
Oh, they're
max,
at the
is it?
max.
Oh, okay. So your computer's on max, you'd say I'm a roughly 6 or 7. We'll play 6 just to be humble and whatnot. So I have a 6 on a scale of volume on top of
And
on
then on
top
top
of
of that,
max
YouTube
level
trumps over
speakers.
Discord,
Oh,
so
so
I
you s
wouldn't
okay, so you're saying the YouTube video was even louder than I am,
you
and you slept right through it.
Can't
yeah.
even get a shotgun.
You fell asleep during it, in fact.
I
Hmm.
usually fall asleep to I literally sleep to YouTube videos going in the
Interesting.
background.
Okay, alright, so you fell asleep to YouTube videos on max volume. Okay. I came back, I started talking
Mhm.
for at least 2 minutes, give or take, and then Gabo joined shortly after. So a couple of minutes. Hmm. But a little vibration, a little itty bitty vibration woke you up. Not the first time. Not even the
It's
oh,
not
wait, I'm
little
sorry,
itty
continue. What
bitty.
was it? It's not a little itty bitty vibration? What were you gonna say? How would you describe it then? How would
No,
you describe your vibration on your
it
phone?
wasn't. Well, it's expanded because my
Oh,
phone was
okay.
under
So you
my
would say
pillow.
it so you would no, hold on. So you would say it shook the
Oh,
whole pillow
There's
almost. It was a it
something
was
under
a it
there.
was kind of a wake up shake, right? Kinda vibrated you awake, right? No, just answer the question. You said
Why the
we
fuck?
have a good vibration, yeah? Okay. So I
Yeah,
called
this.
you at
Yeah.
6:55 PM. You were already asleep at this point. Gabo was already in the call. We had been talking for a little bit, and I had suggested that we'd call him again just to give a chance. Maybe he'd respond. Maybe we'd get some kind of an explanation. Yeah, I see you poking your little head up in the Snapchat. You can even fact check me on this one. 6:55 p.m. was my first call. Was the first
Is the
time I called.
first time you
Then no, no,
called
no, no,
and
no,
then
no, no, no.
texted
Hold on.
nigger
Let's not
going.
get ahead. Let's not get ahead of
That's
ourselves.
literally the
Let's not get
timestamp
ahead of
I have.
ourselves. Calm down.
What are you talking about?
6:55 p.m. First call. Nothing. Didn't wake up. Nothing. You were still listening to Charlie, presumably at this point. Who knows what your autoplay pulls on for you? Anyway, about 40 minutes, about 40,
No,
45
no,
minutes
Smitty
pass
vods.
at
No.
7:37. At 7:37
okay.
p.m. I text you. No response. Okay, well, whatever. That's fine. He's fine. It's whatever. Who knows? Maybe he's charging his phone. He's away. Who knows? Got to give the benefit of the doubt sometimes. Anyway, 7:47. We are in the middle of the episode. Not the middle. We have started the episode for a decent amount of time. We started at 7:28, so about a little less than 20 minutes. About 19. So about 20 minutes in, we'll say. I call you again. Interestingly enough, you didn't answer again. Didn't even text me back. You still, to this point, have not texted me back on Snapchat, as a matter of fact. So a couple of minutes pass. We'll once again say a minute has passed. And then you join. Yeah,
Batman.
what's up?
Not to interrupt you.
You wanna go
They are
yes,
doing
go do an
interviews.
interview.
May I
We'll
dip out
we'll we'll talk about
momentarily?
that when you get back.
Thank
Remember
you.
how a couple
Interview
of
for
episodes
what?
ago when I was high, I was talking about the episode or GTA 5 roleplay? I got him in the server, or I got him in the server. I helped him
Mm-hmm.
write a character that we'll talk
Okay.
about later. But that's not important. You go ahead, Gabo. Have fun.
Okay.
So anyway, now it's just me and you again. A little more intimate this time, wouldn't you say? So what I'm hearing is
No, don't say that.
YouTube videos, me talking, and a phone call didn't work, except the second time it worked. Interesting. But yet you claim
Yeah, because the phone shifted under my
it,
pillow.
it shifted it shifted
It wasn't originally under my pillow. It
under
was
your
charging.
pillow. How are you sleeping without purposefully trying to do so? That your phone would slide underneath your pillow while you were sleeping. Presumably you're not a very heavy kicker. I don't think you're much of a roller, are you? How do you sleep? How would you say your sleeping habits would pertain to motion? Oh, you roll a lot.
No, I
Okay,
do
okay,
roll a
okay.
lot. I
Oh, okay.
mean,
All right.
I do move
Would
around.
you say you had a spring mattress or a foam or how would you describe your bed? Oh, it's a foam
Foam
love
mattress?
foam mattress. Have one of those at my mother's house. Great bed. Fantastic bed. They're known for making caves, right? Like when you lay in it, it kind of centers out in your body mass, and it kind of makes a little divot. Would you say similar to the one that my dear friend who has
Yeah.
since left Gabo has slept in before? He's aware of what kind of divots can be made in a foam bed. So you had a pillow. Well, would this be
Mhm.
a head pillow, a leg pillow, arm pillow? Are you kind of like cuddling? What? How are you laying? How are you laying? What pillow?
I was laying, I don't know how to say it, like the other way, like to where the back of the
Okay.
front of my bed, I
Oh,
guess,
so you were laying.
is,
Okay, so you were laying with your feet towards the
and my
wall. Feet towards the wall, head towards the middle of the
fingers.
room.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, interesting.
yeah.
Where was your pillow in this endeavor? Okay, were you
It
laying on
was
your
right
side while
under my
watching
head.
YouTube? Were you on your phone watching YouTube? Were you have a laptop? What were you watching? Oh,
Side.
you were on your side. Okay, you were on your
I was
side.
watching it on a
You were on
laptop.
your side. Where's your
I
laptop in
was
all
on
of
a
this? Is it
laptop.
on like a chair, on a desk? Where is it at? Oh, okay. So
No, it's
it's
on
on
the
the
bed
bed
with me.
with you. Okay. And your phone in relation to
Mhm.
the in relation to the laptop and yourself would be about where did you think you put it last? If you had to guess.
I know where I put it last.
Hmm?
I put it
Oh, so you put
right
it
next
right
to the
next to the
computer
computer. Okay. Uh-huh.
because
Oh,
it was
okay.
charging on
Interesting.
a
So it was
cord
right
right
next
next
to the
to it.
computer, but when you laid down
Mhm.
and your body presumably shifts a lot. You know, you're a little bit of a restless sleeper. I can get that. You know, I'm there myself, buddy. But you know, you shift it, you're jiggling the bed around a little bit, and the phone moves. Phone moves. And you would think it would move towards the laptop, the thing of weight, kind of like how gravity works with planets. You know, planets interloop around each other. That's how you get that's
Well,
you
I
would
would
be
be
like
the
the
thing of weight
sun
in
in
the
this
bed.
scenario. Your laptop would be like Earth, and your phone would be like a little moon. Wouldn't you think if the sun jiggled around and caused a lot of commotion, that it would jiggle the moon towards you? Or would it jiggle it towards the Earth? What do you think? What's your opinion on such a matter? What do you think it would do?
I mean, it would go
Oh, it
towards
would go
me because
towards
I'm the biggest
you.
center of
Okay, all
mass.
right. So, okay, so you were
That's
laying
why
on the
it shifted
okay, so
under
you were
my
laying on the
pillow.
laying and went under the pillow. Okay, interesting. I just wanted to make sure I got a complete
Mhm.
picture of this. How far would you say your pillow is from the laptop? If you're because I've seen your room before. I wouldn't say it's a very spacious room. About what size do you think your
Yeah.
bed is? About like a queen, maybe a twin? It's a oh, it's a king
No, it's a
size. You
king.
have a
I know the size.
very
It's a king.
large bed indeed. Good for you. I'm very proud. It's why it takes up so much of your room. But it's very interesting little detail. It's a king sized. Okay. So at your pillow, you were laying on the opposite
Mhm.
side. Your feet were towards your head towards the center. Okay. where in relation to the pillow was the laptop? Because you were laying on your side to watch it. Was it where would you say it was placed?
It was it was to
Oh,
my
it was
right
to your right. Oh, so you
because
were
that's like
laying on
really
your
the only
left.
place it could be. Because I was like right at the edge where
Okay,
that
so you
window
were
is
laying to
by
your
my bedroom.
left, and it was to your right. It was plugged in, the
Mhm.
phone was plugged in. It's all right
Mhm.
there. Okay, how would you describe your pillow?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Soft,
material-wise,
comfortable.
you got a memory foam? Do you got a feather? Do you have, like, one of those little nylon ones? Maybe even a My Pillow, those big foam bullet
It's a
memory foam.
it's a memory foam.
Oh, interesting. Okay, what are some qualities of a memory foam pillow for those at home who aren't as well versed in pillow knowledge as, perhaps you and I, may be?
It matches the pattern you put
It
on it when
matches
you're
the
laying on it.
pattern that you lay on it. Interesting. Well, huh, that's a bit strange. What would you say the
Mhm.
pattern of a mattress is? You would say it would be pretty flat, right? It doesn't really move much unless you force it to. So it's, the
Mhm.
bottom side of the memory foam would be a little flat. Would you say it's a little rounder or a little square? How would you say the edges are on that pillow? Oh, they're square.
Square. Well, square
Define.
and
Well,
round.
how would you
Square and
describe
round,
something
I'd
as
say.
both square and round? Those both seem like two things that don't really cross over very often. One has sides, one doesn't. One has corners, one doesn't. They seem to be two very different entities, and yet you say it's both square and round. How would you describe something like that? Rotund,
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 I
rotund. Would
guess?
you mind taking a picture of your pillow? Just take a little picture without the case on it or anything.
Fucking
Just
weird as
just
shit.
just a classic
I'm
picture of the side of your
obsessed.
pillow. Nothing weird. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
why
you're
I'm
still
so
tired.
tired.
Interesting. Cool. That's cool. But
I'm
we
such
can
a pathetic.
we can end this pretty soon. There isn't too much more I want to get through. Just, all the shit we had planned that you of course had us delay. But let's just see your pillow real quick. Let's just see your pillow real quick. See what you're working with.
I am the
No, 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 no,
victim.
no, no,
Why
no.
are you
I had said
blaming
nothing
me?
on such a fact in a while. Just what's your pillow? Just send a picture of your pillow. Just send a picture of your pillow.
What are you
Send a picture of
talking
your
about?
pillow.
Bro.
I'm just trying to make sure I get all the facts correct. I want to make sure that every little puzzle piece fits together so we can get. Oh, okay. So it's a little round on the edges, but it's flat on the side. Okay, interesting. Very nice looking pillow. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh huh.
Like a square.
Interesting. So would you say how far where's your, normal head placement on that pillow? Would you say the middle maybe, the sides even? Where's your favorite spot?
Well, at that time,
Oh,
I
you
didn't
didn't
have my
have your
head on
head
it.
on it. Okay.
No, I had my
Oh, so
arms
you
on it
were
and I had
laying
my
on
chest
top
on it,
of
but
it.
not my
Okay.
head.
So you would say how much would you say
Mhm.
you weigh? Just on a good day, countering in everything, didn't eat that day, you're not wearing anything too heavy. What how would you say? 260, did you
306.
say? 306. Okay, that's an
306.
interesting, number. For a memory foam pillow, that sounds like it would compress it a bit, don't you think? Would it would, yeah, okay, so it
It
does.
does.
So, alright, you're laying on your chest and your arm, and you got the pillow there, and it's a memory foam. The
And
memory
then
foam
you came into
the
the
memory
call
foam
and said all
pillow
that
on a memory
when you
foam
said your
mattress, and yet somehow,
mhm.
some way, you were able to roll perfectly around. Just wiggle the right amount of times to get the phone directly under the pillow that was directly under you on a memory foam mattress that are, by the way, foam, so they don't like to all move at once sometimes, but, maybe we're a little closer than I'm imagining, what do I know? And yet the phone went
Yeah,
under the
that was
pillow,
really
under
cool.
you on the foam
And then
mattress.
You didn't let me.
Oh,
You didn't let me
there's
tell you the
more.
rest.
Oh,
Because
please, pray
after you
tell me
joined the
more. Well,
call,
like I said, I'm trying to get the full picture here.
I switched my position
Well,
to
why didn't you
where my head
specify
was
that?
laying
That's
on
what
the
I was
pillow.
asking. Okay.
Literally, you cut me off. I was literally
That's
going to
interesting. Well, then
specify
why did
that,
you
and you
mention
cut
it?
me
It doesn't
off.
seem like very prevalent information if you were not trying to, what's the word I'm looking
It
for?
is prevalent information.
Distract from the main point.
That's not
It is
distracting from the
actually
main
very
point. I
heavily
only answered the
distracting
main
from the
point.
main
I don't
point
know
because
what
I
you're on
asked
about.
very, very specifically where on the pillow you placed your head. And you said, I didn't place my head on the pillow. I was laying on top of it with my arms and torso.
At the time,
At the
I
time,
said at
at
the
the
time also.
time.
You can't like
Well, we're discussing the time you fell asleep. Well, we
at
discussed
the
the time
time
you
my
were
head wasn't on the pillow.
asleep. So, that is, of course, the time being discussed. Why would you mention any other time in this scenario unless you were, I don't know, trying to just your point? I mean, it's that's all hearsay. It's all who knows whatever. So, okay, so you put your head on it. Where are you placing your head on the pillow? Directly in the middle.
In the middle.
Okay. You said you roll around a lot, so who knows? Maybe you shimmy
Mhm.
from side to side. Okay. How long would you say that pillow is? Approximately. If you had to give like a rough estimate, how long would you say that pillow is?
I guess
Three and a
three and a
half of
halfs of
your
my
head.
head.
Long ways or width?
Like
Long ways. Oh, okay.
long
Would you say
waist.
how big would you say your head is?
What's this?
Oh, okay.
Pretty
So you'd say
average size
average
for a person.
sized. Okay. Well, in that case, let me go here real quick. Head dimensions. Average. So it's okay. So 3.5.
Yeah, I'd say
Uh,
3.5.
well, you're a
I just
male,
measured it.
correct? That would be 22 and a half
Yeah.
inches, which is interesting. Would you say 22 and a half inches? Oh, but that's hat size. Silly me. Hold on. What am I looking for? This right here. This, I didn't. I
Why
went
don't
to
you
head
go to
size.
half size immediately?
Not head. Face. Let's look at face dimensions. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to get a good description, a good average Caucasian male. You're not Caucasian male, but that's all right. You said average. Average. Yeah, I know.
No,
It's
I
all right.
am
It's okay,
black
buddy.
and Puerto
We
Rican.
can't all be perfect. It's about 19 centimeters. Okay, so 19 centimeters in inches. How many is that? That's about 7.45, 7.48 inches. We'll say 7.5 inches. We'll say, sorry, 7.5. All right, 7.5 times 3, as you
Mm-hmm.
described it. Three times. Oh, 3.5. Okay,
Three
all
and a
right,
half.
3.5. So about 26.25 inches.
Yeah. 3.5.
Okay. How wide would you say your head is? About the same average? Oh, you have a
No,
very
it's much
thin
thinner
head.
than that, kind of.
Mhm.
It used to be bigger, but it
Okay,
got
so about how
like kind of
thin
spaced
thin
out
from side to
with
side,
me
from
lying on it.
left temple to right temple, how wide would you say your head is? You got a little bit of a squish on your head, not gonna lie. You got a bit.
No, it's not anywhere near
You
the
got
size
about
of
you
my
got about
temple
you got
with the
about oh,
width.
so it's nowhere near. If you had to guess from temple to temple, how wide would you
In
think
width.
your head is? If you had to just make
Temple
an
to
assumption.
temple. Mm,
Assuming that your assuming your
I'd
thumb
say
is about
15.
1 inch, you click that over a couple of times, how or each little
Mm-hmm.
knuckle. How many
I dislocated
okay,
both of
we'll
them,
we'll
so they're
just use
longer
that
than they're
metric
meant to
and
be.
we'll go from there. How about that? Yeah, from temple to temple with your thumb,
So,
and we'll scale it accordingly how it sounds. Okay?
3 inches and a quarter, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really sure.
Average human. How wide? It's the average is about 6 to 7. So I think you're uh, measuring a little wrong, but that's okay. So would you say you're about a little? You said you're on the lower side, so you want to say about 6 inches? Okay, so 6 inches out of
Mm-hmm.
26.25. So that still leaves 20.25. That's about a foot, 8 inches. 0.25, of course. But we'll take off the 0.25 because that feels negligible. Well, no, that's fine.
I'm
We'll,
not
we'll
being
we'll cut off the
interrogated.
0.25 because that sounds about negligible. Negligible. Oh, Jesus Christ. Negligible. Whatever. You know what I mean. I'm having a stroke. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so about 6 inches, knock that off. That's 20 inches. So it's about a foot and a half of a pillow. You said you went smack dab in the middle. So that's about 13 and a half, or 13 and an eighth. And then you cut over a bit. You'd cut over exactly 3 inches, assuming you're directly in the half. That would inches. 10 inches of room from
Mhm.
where your head is at the very edge of your head to the edge of the pillow. 10 inches, despite what some whores may tell you, is fucking enormous. That's quite some distance. A lot of length. So I'm so what I'm here to so what I'm here to
Are
believe
you? What the
is
fuck is
your
that
head
comment?
using the leverage of your body, and just your head. You're a bit of a heftier guy, so we'd say your head weighs maybe what, 20 pounds? How much? How head? Oh, your head's pretty
No,
light.
my
Okay.
head's pretty light.
Heavy human head.
Mm.
How heavy is a human head? Human head weighs about 11 pounds. You say it's a light, so we'll say 10 pounds. Okay. That sounds about right. 10 pounds. Sounds about right. So we'll say 10 pounds. So your 10-pound head
I
on a
guess, yeah.
memory foam bed, on a memory foam pillow, was able to lift your phone up or lift the edge of the pillow to such a degree that your aggressive shaking wiggled it on under there in about an hour. I'm not saying it was an immediate process, but over time, at least an hour, it wiggled itself underneath that pillow, didn't it? And then I
Probably.
called you just right at the right time, right when it was under there,
Oh.
right before it woke you up or anything, right before you got any other notifications. But my call hit you from underneath the pillow. Is that
Mhm.
true? Is that what you're saying? So you're leading me to
Yeah.
believe, under
Yes.
all these heavily outweighing scenarios, that this little itty bitty sliver of possibility happened. I mean, hey, lucky things happen every
It's
day.
not
Who
a
knows?
sliver because as what
What's up?
includes with being a mover. Hold on. Because as
Hmm.
what includes with being a mover in their sleep, you also
Yeah,
move
all right.
the
So,
things
what
around you.
happened to the laptop? What happened to the laptop while you? What happened to the
I
laptop while
move
you were
my
moving?
pillow around a lot of my
What happened to the laptop while you were moving?
huh? Oh, it
Oh,
just
so it
glided
touched
into
you
me.
and you still
It
didn't
was
wake up.
just there.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So,
Mhm.
sorry, you were talking about moving the pillow? Do you mean manually, like with your hands?
Yeah. Well, it's an
Ooh,
involuntary
is it
movement because my body does it while
involuntary?
I'm asleep.
That's a very heavy claim there. Claimed involuntary movements. Is that what you're claiming?
It is. I don't know what
Okay. I I
sure.
want you. Yeah.
It's not a claim, it's a fact. My body does it, and literally everybody's body does that during their sleep. I don't know why you're trying to
No, no,
like
no.
be like,
I want to
well, it's
make
an
sure
opinion of yours.
you agree with that. Okay? I just wanted to make sure
Mhm.
you specifically agreed with that line of thought. Okay? Would you say that you do? Hmm? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, about how heavy of a sleeper do you think you are? Would you say you're pretty light? You sleep through something good? What do you think?
I'm light if I'm
Mm.
running on enough fuel.
Okay. Okay. Would you describe yourself as an average sleeper? Would you say you're more sleep deprived then? You're more of a sleep deprived person? Oh, okay. Okay.
More
Interesting.
sleep
All
deprived.
right. So under normal circumstances, you'd say, or at least in this scenario, you would say, sleep deprived. Okay. All right. All right. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, sleep cycle. So, fun fact, by the way, and you can fact check me, but Sarah Reagan, a professional sleep health, I don't know what the specific terms is, doctor, I guess, states that when you're sleep deprived, we move less under normal circumstances. Uh, we also are more naturally active during stage one or light sleep of the REM sleep cycle. Well, if we take a little look see at the REM sleep cycle, well, of course we know what the REM
I know
sleep
what the
cycle
REM
is.
sleep cycle is,
No, no,
but
no, 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 no.
the fact
Hold
is
on,
in
hold on,
psychology that
hold
the
on.
REM
We're
sleep
in the REM
sleep
sleep
cycle does
cycle.
not
Hold
always.
on, let's work down the
Why
logic
you
and
what?
we'll talk accordingly. So, so
Well, the
we're
logic
you would
is
say you're sleep
flawed
deprived. No, no, no.
inherently
Hold on. You'd say you're sleep
because you
deprived.
can't.
Okay. Well, you would move a little less, but
Mm-hmm.
first 15 to 20 minutes, you're very active in REM sleep. You'd be wiggling around a lot, which when you say the prime time to to move your phone under, interestingly enough. And about 20 minutes in is when, conveniently enough, I called you to no response, which, whatever, interesting. Some time passes. In the center of REM sleep, where you should hypothetically be in your deepest amount of sleep, the phone rings. Rings just long enough to wake you up. And it does, doesn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's presumed in
Was
the
you said
right.
you fell asleep while watching Charlie, right? No, no, no.
We've been over this. We've been over this.
What have
I
I
don't.
forgotten?
How are you forgetting your own
What have I
details?
forgotten?
How are you forgetting the details? You're like, okay. After I said it moved
Right.
into the right position too.
I'm just saying it's quite interesting that in the prime candidacy of REM sleep, when hypothetically the phone no,
REM sleep is inherently
why is it
flawed
flawed?
because you cannot, even
Mhm.
though it's a base parameter for everyone, you can't base it off of that
Oh, it is
because
a
everybody is
base
still different.
parameter.
Just
Interesting. You
because you
didn't
have
seem
the
to find an issue
parameters
with
for
taking
how REM
averages
sleep.
before when I said, "What's the average weight of your head?" You didn't seem to take an issue before when I said, "What's the average weight of, of you?" You didn't have any issues?
No,
Yeah,
because
so
I
you
literally
you
said
didn't
my
have an
head's
issue with
lighter
your head weight, you didn't have an issue
than
when I
ten
took the
pounds. I
average
don't.
for your head size, you didn't even have an issue when we ballparked around your, pillow, but why is this one detail, this one little thing, the thing you seem to be objecting against so heavily?
Means you're
I'm
trying
not
to use
I'm not using
psychology to
psychology at
work in
all.
your favor, but it's
I'm
not
using
going
REM
to.
sleep, I'm using sleep cycles. I'm
That
just
is
saying,
psychology.
not psychology.
That's psychology.
Psychology is
That is. It's literally.
you can learn
I
it in
learned that in
psychology, it doesn't
psychology.
mean
What
it's
are you talking about?
psychology.
The REM It's part of psychology because that's how you evaluate patients too. Is base parameters with a little more extra because you their sleep patterns. That's what you do for
Okay.
insomniacs.
It's the study of the human mind. It's sleep that's
Because
important,
that's
right?
mostly for
Yeah.
insomnia.
Right. It's just looking at how it
Yeah.
affects you. It doesn't make it never mind. Anyway, point being is okay. So you don't like the sleep cycle then. You wouldn't say you're a fan of the REM cycle.
It doesn't it does oh god. The things I've been telling you, like, hey, this is about this, and then like I've given you
I
about
know. I'm just trying to
ballparks
get the
myself. It's
details
not
about as
like
close as we can. So you don't like the REM sleep cycle.
you oh, it
Huh.
doesn't
Interesting. I'd like to once again mention throughout this entire endeavor, your computer was still on, right? And at this point, you said it was touching you, right?
Yeah.
So the vibrations of your computer
Mhm.
still talking to you had nothing. Would you mind going, if you wouldn't mind doing me the little favor, going through your YouTube search history to just take a little gander at what auto.
I already did. It just changed a bunch.
It went to
It went through
Vanoss.
Vanoss, and then
Vanoss
it
Gaming.
ended
He's
on
a bit of
Smitty.
an energetic guy, wouldn't you
After
say? What video was it?
it switched to the video he did about CryptoZoo, making fun of Jake Paul. Adam Paul shit.
Interesting. Maybe you're Oh, am I?
You are lost.
Am
You are
I?
lost. I know that. Yes, because you would have been
I have no
quick with the
joke
joke or
because I
some
don't
shit,
need a
but you
joke.
had
I'm
no
pulling up.
response to that
So let's
whatsoever.
see. How does this video start? It starts with a Dahi Nogla doing a CoffeeZilla spoof, which was very interesting. He talks for a bit. They talk for a bit. Then it immediately jumps
Mhm.
into them killing him. Interesting. With a loud explosion. You'd think that would wake you up a little bit. That sounds like a pretty loud thing.
No, the only thing I found to wake me up is
Oh, okay.
Dallas's soup
So it's
screaming.
a lot of. What about
If you
Vanos'
if
laughing?
you
He
like,
laughs
that's the
quite a
only
lot
thing I
within the
found to
first
actually wake
even
me.
2.5 minutes of this video. He's got a very distinct, very loud laugh, wouldn't you say?
No, that doesn't wake me up. I've fallen asleep to his laugh and stuff like that. I've literally fell asleep to
Okay, interesting.
long hour
So you're telling
compilations of
me
him.
you like to listen to videos, no matter how loud, in your sleep, and you sleep straight through them, right? Even when it's touching you and you should hypothetically be
Mhm.
feeling the vibrations, correct? So then why is it to believe that
Mhm.
my call, my specific call, is what woke you up?
He's
Oh, I
reverberated
thought the
across the
computer was
pillow with a
touching
wider
you. Don't you
surface.
think physically touching you is a little bit more sensitive than across the as you've described it, quite
No, not for me.
large pillow, a quite large memory foam pillow? As a matter of fact, those aren't very well known for their.
It wasn't touching the pillow. It was just
What
touching me.
wasn't
I
the
didn't say it
phone?
was touching the pillow.
The computer was touching you,
The computer.
correct?
It was just touching me. It's not gonna
It
reverberate
it
that
would.
well
It's
across
vibrating. You
skin.
said your speaker is on max. And it's touching you while playing Vanoss videos.
Yeah, it
They're
is on
very
Mac.
loud. That feels like that should give a little tingle. That's a lot of vibrations right there. Nothing. A little phone call.
No.
Phones, they don't vibrate that strong, believe it or not.
It's not a
And
little phone
especially
call.
not through a memory foam mattress, both of which don't really reverberate that hard.
You
Oh,
mean
it's
the
under the
pillow?
oh, it's
It's under
under
the
the it's
pillow.
under the pillow.
You
Sorry,
can't.
silly me. I thought
It's
we'd
not
been
under the
arguing for the past
mattress.
45 minutes, and I didn't realize it was fucking under the pillow. Of course it was under the goddamn pillow. Of course. Let's throw every assumption of why the fuck would it be under the pillow out of the window. Even if it is under the pillow, it's underneath a memory foam pillow on
It's
top
what?
of a memory foam mattress, both of which do not reverberate very well. And yet, you felt the slightest of vibrations in a single call, an hour after my previous call, and 10 minutes after I had texted you. But I texted you beforehand. I
You didn't
texted
text
you
me
10
after
minutes
that. What are you
before I
talking about?
called. I texted you 10 minutes before I called.
Well,
And then you answered on the call. What? What did you
It's
just
not
say?
showing me a timestamp of that. It's
You can
not
pull him up
showing me
again,
a
motherfucker, because
timestamp
you
of
already
your
agreed to
text.
him.
It says that you
No, I
texted me at
called you. No,
6:55.
I called you
It's right after the
6:55.
call.
I then texted you, nigger join, at 7. What time? 7:37. 7:37. And then I
7:37 is
called you
the
exactly
timestamp.
10 minutes later at 7:47. But that is the thing you're claiming woke you up, despite
Mm-hmm.
the both noise and vibration canceling memory foam, and despite having an actual laptop with active videos playing loudly, max volume, as you described it, on your speaker, touching your skin, touching your shirt, whatever you're wearing. I don't know specifically, but I don't think you're wearing very thick hoodie, are you? What are you wearing right now? Oh, you're wearing a regular
I'm
shirt
just
and
wearing a
underwear.
regular
Okay, all right,
shirt and
interesting.
underwear.
And you're touching your stomach, which is a little interesting 'cause it's right there. So it'd actually be touching more towards your chest. Oh, he's touching your arm.
No, it's just
Oh,
on.
interesting. Would you say how many hairs do you say? Are you say you're a hairy guy? How would you describe
No,
your arms? How would you describe your arms? How would you?
just say what
Oh,
you
you're
want.
hairy. You got a lot of little
I'm
follicles on
hairy.
there. Yeah, got a big old grizzly look to you. What are hairs good for? What are hairs good for, and what are they used for? On certain animals, like let's think. Let's like spiders. What do spiders use their hair for? Huh? No, they use it for vibrations. They
Insulation and
feel
stuff,
things.
but it can
Yeah, there you
also
go.
be used for
Vibrations.
vibrations, yes.
So you're
We're
telling
not
me
we're not creatures meant to use
Oh,
vibration,
interesting.
that's why we
So
have
you're
eyes
telling me,
and
though,
ears.
that on your arm, a very hairy arm as you have described it, max vibrations from a pretty good laptop, max volume on a very loud video, because I've just checked it myself. You at
Mhm.
home can go watch that video if you'd like. Pretty loud video. Shakes you awake, shakes your arm hairs. Interesting. Nothing. No responses. No responses to the arm hairs,
It's
the more
my arm hair.
sensitive parts of your body.
That's
No response.
again, I've fallen asleep. Yeah, the only way someone would truly mess with me to get me to wake up with my
So
arm
what I'm
hairs
hearing
is if they
is,
pulled
with
them out
all
of
of
me.
this in play, you think on the opposite side, at minimum 10 inches, or as you've described it, 10 inches from your head to the pillow, on a memory foam pillow, on a memory foam mattress, that minute vibration traveled all the way through the pillow into your head, waking you up. Is it true? That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's just a wild story, you know? It's a real crazy, wacky concept. Uh, but who am I? Who am I to
How's it
say
a wacky
anything? That's
concept?
crazy. I'll let the people. Yeah, right. Who am I?
Yeah,
I'll let the
who are
people at
you?
home decide on a factor like that. So why are you claiming to be the victim in this situation then? Why? You've said this. You've said
I
this many times.
am. I literally waited on you guys. I fell asleep because I was so tired, and then
Okay,
fucking
can
you
you say it
guys are
again real
like
quick?
grilling me on trying to
Can you say it
being
again real
like,
quick?
"Oh well, it's your
No,
fault."
from the very
It's your
beginning.
fault."
Just restate
You
your
guys are
entire
grilling me.
thesis.
I am the victim. I was waiting on you guys, and then after you guys
Hmm.
finally joined, I had fallen
Okay.
asleep,
You had fallen asleep, and we had joined a
and
couple minutes.
and
So
you
why
guys
were
are
you the
grilling me
victim?
on this for no reason. Because I was here. You guys are literally trying to say I was not here, and then
We never denied that
like
you
in
were
the
here
beginning,
first. I
and
don't think
that
at
I
any point did
literally
we
was late.
deny. No, we didn't. At
You
no
yeah,
point
you
did we
guys were. What
deny
are you
that you were
talking
here
about?
first. We said you were here first. We just said it didn't
Yeah,
matter
you
because you weren't
did.
here when we started. That's the important part. So you've just once again claimed and stated that you were not only here first, but through all these minor issues and all the times we tried to wake you and all these things, you slept through it, leaving us in the dark. And yet you were the victim? Seems like you're trying to play victim more than a Twitter user. Very interesting. You're claiming to be the victim despite being the
No,
one
because
missing the entire time, despite not responding, despite barely being woken up for this actual episode. I didn't even think you were going to make it for this episode. I thought it was just going to be me and Gabo. I thought that was it. Just us against the world. You're not there. You're not there. Any rebuttal? No, any rebuttal.
This is
You claim
so
to be the
stupid.
victim, and yet you are the one causing the most amount of
Yeah,
damage,
my
and yet
rebuttal is you're
we
wrong.
tried to fix problems as best as we could.
I was.
Well,
What are you talking about?
you had agreed
I
on
literally
separate
didn't.
occasions 6 o'clock was fine, and that Gabo was going to be late.
You
No.
you
You were
are like
aware.
literally.
No. I'm not. I am
You're
not teasing in the
seething right
slightest.
now.
I
For
am
no,
more happy than ever.
you are. You're the only reason
I'm not.
you're
I said at
grilling me is
6:10,
because you're
I'm home. We can
seething.
start with dinner. You responded at 11. Okay. And then responded, dinner is starting soon. Well, you responded yourself, I'm in the call. I said, gotcha. I said, okay, and joined on ahead. I wanted to make sure there was a paper trail, but okay. Always like to respond. I like to respond. No, I responded at the bottom
No,
at,
Gabo
at
said gotcha.
6:21. Okay, and I was already in the call at that point. I just like responding in Snapchat. Unlike you, because you still never
You
texted me from when I
said
called you
you
at
responded gotcha.
7:47.
What?
But I like to text, even though I'm in here. I'd like to text just so that it shows that I respond and that I care. So you were fully aware that Gabo was eating. You knew he was going to be a little late. He, dinner is
No, he
starting
just
soon.
all he
If
said
we
was
scroll up a
dinner
little bit,
is starting soon. I didn't know he
dinner
was eating.
is starting soon.
All that is dinner starting soon. What I can
So
assume
you would
is they're
assume he
getting
would be
everything
eating
prepped
dinner.
for
Well,
dinner, not
correct, he didn't, which means
they're
he was going to be
eating
even
now.
later. So you knew he was going to be delayed. You knew I was going to be delayed.
That's-
We both already made that. No. Here's the thing. We both
You
made
guys
it
you both are admitting that
abhorrently
you're
clear that we were both going to be late. You had agreed to that factor, and you were understanding of the nature of this transaction. And yet, when I came in the call, I had to go take a shit. I had to go set up, and I had to take a shit. It was a transaction. That's exactly what
this
this is.
isn't a
So I
transaction. I
sat
don't know
here.
what you're
I
on
went and
about.
take it. The transaction is comedy.
What
Our
transaction?
entertainment for the people at
Explain what
home.
transaction
So
this
Gabo,
is.
would you follow this logic with me real quick? He knew that both you and I
This-
were not going to be there directly at 6 because of
Uh-oh.
complications, you with eating and me with driving home and having to set up. Correct? Fully aware of these factors. Well, we started the call
Mhm.
together, me and him, me and Mr. Shitake here. We're in the call together. And you said you had to go get dinner. You said dinner was being finished. You were gonna go do dinner in a second, right? Right. Dinner's starting soon.
Dinner starting soon.
Well, that was one of the delays that he had warned about. Gabo warned that he was
Mhm.
gonna have to.
That's what Gabo
He was
said.
gonna be delayed about that. So you knew Gabo was gonna be late. You knew I was gonna be slightly late. We both got in the call together. I went to take a little shit. I come back. Oh, that's weird. You're missing. You're muted. You're not responding no matter how much I try. And then you leave the call and you're gone. You're gone out of the call.
Yeah, I fell
No.
asleep.
I'm not
Why
misunderstanding.
is it so
I want
hard for you to understand I
your
fell asleep?
error. You fell asleep within the 5 minutes it took. If you'd shut the fuck up, I can answer.
What's
In the
my
5
error
minutes it
in
took
this?
me to take my shit, I came back. You were out cold. I tried the best of my abilities to get your attention. Gabo then joined the call very shortly after, I might add. And Gabo, would you like to confirm the fact that I did in fact call him and then text him while you were in the call? Thank you. So the first time I
Yes,
called,
multiple times.
response, fine. We went about our way talking for a full, entire, unbroken hour. And we started the episode. Then,
You only called and
then
texted the
we,
first time at
then,
6:55. You only called
and I
once.
called you a second time, which makes more than once, multiple, twice, 2 times, multiple. Which is
Well, you called two
more
different
than
time
once.
frames.
Which is multiple times. So, to the best of my ability, we tried to get your attention. We sat there and we chatted. We waited. We gave a good, solid amount of time.
You're
That's
trying to put emphasis
twice.
that you called multiple times
Multiple
in
times.
that one time
I
period.
never said at the beginning. I just said
In the
we've called
beginning.
multiple times.
What?
So, hold on. Calm down. Let me get all the things out of the way so we can get this nice and wrapped up with a little bow on top. So, me and him started talking. We started the episode. We started talking for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Almost 20 minutes, about 19 actually. as we've gone over. I call you again. This time you answer, and this time you wake up and whatnot. But you claim to be the victim in this scenario, not me or Gabo, who had to wait for the hour and 20 minutes, at minimum, hour and 20 minutes. You who had to wait, but you who had to wait 5 minutes
With no knowledge.
and knew I was going to be returning because I just said I had to take a shit. You knew Gabo was going to be showing up because he said he just had to eat dinner. And then you go missing. Did we get any reason or explanation at the time? No, we had no fucking clue what happened. You were just gone. And yet you claim to be the victim in this scenario? What about me and Gabo? What about us? We sat here for over an hour, dicking in our hands. Literally, not even metaphorically, physically dick in hands. But you claim to be the victim because you had to wait 5 little minutes, and your attention span was so short, not even YouTube or TikTok could keep your attention for 5 minutes while I took a shit. I came right back. You were muted, which is another whole issue. You had yourself muted. So there was no way, shape, or form. I'm aware. I'm
Yeah,
aware.
because you
were
complain
muted,
all the
which
time.
means I had no way, shape, or form to know you were asleep.
Yeah,
And then you left the call. Interestingly enough, you left the Gabo when you came back.
didn't leave
When
the
you
call
joined the call,
voluntarily,
was
it kicked me.
Shiitake in any of the voice chats? He was not. Interesting.
He was not.
But
I
that
don't know,
doesn't mean I
maybe
left
you said you're a
voluntarily.
violent sleeper.
You're-
Maybe you
you're
rolled over, hit a
assuming
couple
that.
of combinations of buttons. Who am I to say?
I didn't say I
You
was
say
a
you move
violent
around a lot.
sleeper.
That's how
I
you
move
say
around
the
during my
phone got under
sleep.
the pillow. We've already gone over all this. That's not the point. The point is, you are playing the victim card because you are incapable of taking responsibility for the fact that you were unable to keep yourself conscious for 5 minutes. Is this true? Why not?
No. You're basically putting
What?
all the.
Yep. And then I joined.
I was
No,
ready
you
to
were ready to
start.
start. No,
You're
you
literally
were ready
grilling
to
me for
start.
like
You
for
were
an
ready to
hour.
start.
You've been
Hold
grilling
on.
me for an hour
Hold on.
about
Hold on.
this,
You keep you
trying to,
never
like,
answer the question. You
pull
just keep
apart
going on your
whatever
own little side tangents because you
you
keep going on a side
can.
tangent.
Why
You
are
keep
you cutting
avoiding
me
the
off?
question.
Let me
Answer
finish.
directly. Answer directly and answer succinctly.
I
Answer
didn't
directly and
avoid the
succinctly.
question. I
No,
answered
because you keep
directly.
diverting.
What are you
Gabo,
talking about?
Gabo, would you like to agree?
I said no.
Okay.
I replied to
What
your
was your answer?
question.
You said no.
I replied to your question. I was explaining my reasoning behind that. No, you just
you
cut
keep
me
trying
off.
to immediately shift blame. But in reality, you were ready. I was ready. I had to take a little shit, came back, you were gone immediately. That's not a lot of time. 5 minutes isn't a lot of time, as we've stated.
I wasn't gone. That's the thing. My thing was still in
Gabo,
the chat. It wasn't
I
like
reiterate, was he in
I
any of the
left.
chats when you joined? No, he was not.
No, he was not.
No, he wasn't. So we were all in the dark. Me and Gabo just sat here, no idea what's happening. Waited an hour and 20 minutes. And then finally, through all the luck and all the turmoil and all these situations, you happen to go up. Completely altering the changed events of this podcast episode as I had planned, which is fine. That's perfectly okay. But then you sit here and claim to be the victim is something I will not take lightly. If you wanted to sit in here and say, my apologies or something, say, hey, my bad, didn't mean to fall asleep, won't happen again. Or, hey, sorry this happened, sorry what happened. But no, you claimed that you were the one wronged in this scenario. Not me or Gabo, who had to wait the whole time for you to never show up. We started without you because we, again, never knew you were going to return. You knew exactly when we were going to show up. You knew exactly when we were going to return. You did. He had
No,
to
I
finish
didn't know
dinner.
when you guys were
It
gonna
doesn't take
show
very
up.
long because he said that he was gonna.
I don't know what time frame he's gonna finish dinner at because I
Mhm.
don't know what his
How
family's
long?
dinner
How
rituals
long?
are.
How long? No.
It's
How
you're
long do you
assuming
think
that I
dinner
know all
could
these time frames.
possibly take? At an absolute maximum. At an
Again,
absolute
I
maximum.
don't know his family. They could be talking
so how
about
long
their
would you say?
days or like what's going on
At an
today.
absolute
It's not like
maximum.
I don't
30, 40 minutes. 30, 40
know,
minutes. That's a
maybe
number
30,
I can
40
deal with.
minutes.
30, 40 minutes. Okay, cool. 30, 40 minutes. From when Gabo said dinner is almost done. We'll give a little bit of extra time on top of it. I said we can give a
He didn't
little
say
extra
dinner is
time. He
done
said dinner
again.
is starting soon at 6:17. Gabo, around what time would you say dinner was prepared? What time do you think you started eating? The
I
6:20.
would say
Okay.
probably
Well, by that
6:20.
point, even if it was the full 30 minutes, which we know for a fact it wasn't because me and Gabo were in the chat beforehand talking. We have evidence that we were already here by that time. So it was at minimum less than, or at maximum less than 30 minutes. So, okay, 30-minute delay on Gabo's time. I went to take a shit. Granted, I know I take long shits. I'm fully aware of this fact. Why I didn't want to take too long, so I went as efficiently as possible. That's why it was a nice little 5-minute shit. It's also why I responded at 6:21 to the group chat because I was taking a shit at the time. I thought, I could reply to this now. I replied. Within the 5 minutes, I returned. Well, you know how long my shits are. I've taken plenty of shits around you. I take shits all the time whenever we hang out. At max, they're like 10, maybe 12 minutes. So there you go. That's another time frame you can guess. About 10 to 20 minutes. Or 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes maximum.
No,
You knew
I can't
Gabo,
guess that.
approximately 30 minutes. Those are two time frames you can fully understand and comprehend, correct? You can understand the concept of 30 minutes. You can understand the concept of 15 minutes, correct? Cool. All right. No.
But
Answer.
I'm working
Answer the
with
question. Answer the question.
unknowns. It's
Answer the
just
question.
because I can guess them doesn't
Can
mean
you
it's
understand the concept of 30 minutes and 15 minutes? I just said the question again.
repeat the question.
Can you understand the concept? Okay, you understand the concept of
Yeah, I
13
can
or
understand the
30 minutes and
concept of it.
15 minutes. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Hey, Gabo. I know I wasn't, but were you given a time for how long he was going to sleep on us? How long he was going to be out in the cold? No, we didn't know. We were there
No.
for at least an hour, which is longer than you had expected entirely. Even if you combined both me and Gabo's delays, at absolute worst in your eyes, your description of what you think the average would be, or the worst case scenario would be, is only 45 minutes. Well, me and Gabo had been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. That's almost double. And yet you still sit here upon your high horse and claim to be the victim.
I'm not giving a high
Gabo,
horse.
do you think he's the victim
You're
in all this? Do you think he deserves our sympathy? No.
I'ma say
Would you say that
no.
you and I gave him fair, reasonable parameters around our timing and schedule of such events? Thank you. And yet we got nothing from you.
Correct.
You had muted yourself, so there was no way we could know. I tried talking to you. You never responded. You were listening to YouTube and whatnot. I tried calling you. Your phone wasn't under the pillow yet. I guess it didn't vibrate strong enough yet to move throughout the mattress, which is, as you described, right next to. No. I'm
I
not.
didn't
You said
say
that
it
the
moves
phone
throughout the match.
slid
You're
from
changing
with your
around
mattress.
details.
You agreed.
Again. No,
Correct.
it
If you'd let
vibrated
me
through
finish,
the
shut the
pillow.
fuck up.
I
Shut
said
the
the
fuck up.
pillow.
As
You're
you agreed,
changing
the
around.
phone slid from your corner of the bed next to the laptop underneath the pillow. You described
It wasn't at
the phone next to your
corner of the bed.
laptop.
You,
No, you described the laptop.
I was at
on
the corner of the bed, but
Yeah,
the laptop
and
was
you
to my
described the
right in the
phone.
middle. the laptop, and my phone was right there
exactly
too
what I
because
wanted
it
to
was
hear. No,
connected
say it again real quick.
to a laptop.
Say it again real quick.
To the laptop.
Say where your laptop was.
I've lived. My phone was connected
On
to the
your
cord
laptop. You described your
on my
laptop as
laptop.
touching your arm.
What?
So your phone would be approximately chest height.
Yeah.
That would mean your phone would be, assuming how wide your laptop is, a little closer to your face. All right, cool. Well, we've already gone over the length of the pillow and everything. You'd think a couple of inches. You'd think it would be able to touch the pillow by the 10-minute delay that I gave between my first call. Well, nothing. All right, cool. 45 minutes. I text again. That gives a vibration. Nothing. All right, cool. Maybe within that last 10 minutes, the 10 minutes between me texting you and calling you, maybe the phone got a little farther under, a little snugger underneath that pillow and that mattress, both of which, once again, being memory foam, not known for their elasticity, but known for being quite firm, yet gentle scooping. They kind of like to stay where you are when you lay there, interestingly enough. But hey, who knows? Throughout all of this, we had no ideas, despite our best attempt, when you were coming back. And you have given nothing, not so much as an apology for falling asleep. You just say, I fell asleep. Shit happens. Get over it. And yet you claim to be the victim in all of this still. How? How can you sit here with a straight face and still claim that you were the one wronged in all of this? No, you weren't.
I
You were
was still
prepared. Okay,
prepared
sorry.
and ready
You were
for it
prepared.
to start
No,
an
no, no. Hold on.
episode.
You were
No,
prepared and
I
ready.
What
you
are
were
you
not.
Before you were
You were
prepared
not
and
in
ready
the server.
before you knew that Gaba was going to be delayed. Therefore, you were not prepared and ready for the episode. You were just prepared and ready. No, you were just ready. You were
I
just
was
there
in
early.
the
You were not
server
prepared and
waiting.
ready. You were
He's-
prepared and ready. You would have been there when Gaba was there. Because that is what you knew was going to happen. How so?
What?
No,
That's
I'm not.
pushing the line. You're moving the
How so?
goalpost. You are.
How so? When have I ever?
Because if I'm here early,
Here's
that
the
means
thing,
I'm
though. You
ready to
knew
go
that's
for
not
the
when the
episode.
episode was
That
starting.
doesn't.
You knew it was going to be delayed, and you said yourself you were assuming maybe 30 minutes for dinner. Guesstimation.
No, that was the
Guesstimation.
guesstimation
That's
I
when
gave
you
to your
assumed, once
question.
again,
Not,
that is when you assumed he'd be returning.
but
Well,
again,
that's
that's
interesting
not
because
what I
that's not what I
assumed
asked
in
at
the
the time. I
beginning.
asked, how long did you think? And you said, approximately 30 minutes. And yet, weird. Anyway, my point still stands. You never apologized at any point. You sit here coming to us bitching, in fact. You claim that we're the assholes in this scenario. This all could have been avoided with a simple, I'm sorry for falling asleep. This could have all completely
I
been avoided
didn't.
from the very beginning if you just simply said, hey, sorry, I fell asleep. But you stated, I didn't want to be here. I'm tired. I've been tired. I had to do a lot of shit today. I had this, I did that.
I
Gabo.
didn't say I didn't want to be here. You're putting
Gabo?
words in my mouth. I
Mhm.
didn't
You
say I didn't want to be
okay.
here. I
Well,
said
if
I
you
wanted
to be here so
here.
bad, then why did you fall asleep? Stay awake for 5 minutes if you really wanted to be here that bad? If you wanted to be here that bad,
Because
5
I
minutes,
was
5
tired.
minutes, 5 minutes.
Again, I was doing. I've been.
Because you
Why do you keep
walking
cutting me
in a
off?
circle and expecting to dig a hole to China.
I'm
Has
not
he said
walking in a
anything other than the
circle.
fact that he was tired and that?
I have not
Thank
heard
you.
anything except the excuse of he was
Gabo,
tired.
I know you were
no.
missing for a little bit, but we did go a little bit
Not
more in tune.
much. You
How
guys
many
just being dicks.
details would you say I've tried to gather on this scenario? Thank you. So you'd said coming at this from very
From what I can tell, quite a
differing
few.
and varying angles to try and get the whole story, and yet you just keep claiming I was tired. Well, what about this? Well, that doesn't matter. Well, what about this? That doesn't matter. What about this? Well, this is the real point. Well, that doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. Well, now I'm talking about that. Well, then why are you cutting me off? because that detail doesn't matter anymore. That's why. Because you just keep trying to talk around your singular point. You're trying to
So
talk
your
around the
extraneous
singular
life
point
doesn't
of
matter.
you are the victim. You refuse to accept any other evidence or any other situational events that happened, and you just are dead set on being the victim, never once apologizing to me or Gaba, never once even apologizing for just falling asleep in the middle of when you knew we were going to be recording. You could have, at any point in the multiple times when we had stated the time or the delays, could have said, "Hey, maybe let's do this another day. I'm tired. I had a lot of shit to do. Maybe I'm not going to be in full swing." Gaba, would you say that's a reasonable thing to do for a person if they didn't want to? Eh.
I
Okay,
would
so you'd say that's reasonable, and you yourself
I
even
would think
stated the
so.
fact that you wanted to be here. Well, all right then. Well then, couldn't stay awake for 5 minutes. And yet you still claim to be the victim. Your shitty willpower, your discipline, your lack of self discipline is what started this entire event. And yet you still blame both me and Gabo, both of which who had apologized and stated these facts ahead of time that you had also agreed to were the assholes in the scenario. Gabo, am I misunderstanding the situation? Is that how this is going? So you would agree that
No, I
the
don't think
scenario is
so.
we both gave ample time, explanations, and apologies, and we have gotten nothing from him except for bitching. Correct?
Mhm.
So Shiitake,
I have not heard
what do you
anything
say on these claims
otherwise.
then? On real silent. I know you don't want to get cut off, so I'll give you your time right now. I won't say a single thing, and I'll even pull up a timer. I will pull up a timer. I will not say a single word for 1 full minute. Starting now.
First, I haven't called you guys assholes. I I don't know where that's coming from in the first place. Because I was just upset about timing not being on. I would like it to be at least a little more timed. Because that's how we did it before. I'm just done because it's just you guys have been grilling me for nonstop. Even though this has happened in the past with else, but I guess for me it's just an issue.
1-0. That's the end of the timer. So, in your little statement, you made a couple of claims and allow me to disprove all three of them. I never said you said we were an asshole. I said you were making us out to be the assholes. You were making us the antagonizers of this situation. Second of all, we had warned you wholeheartedly hours in advance that we were going to be late. We told you that there were going to be delays. He's muted himself now, by the way. We warned you that there were going to be delays and that we were going to be late. And you agreed to those knowledge. And second of all, or I'm sorry, third of all, it's not just you that is being grilled on. I constantly shit on Sab for being late. All the time. I would call him out relentlessly. In fact, a couple of episodes ago, I did just that. So, are you going to unmute yourself and act professional, or are you going to sit there wallowing in self pity? Take. Then why didn't you answer any
I'm
of
not
it? Why'd you
wallowing
mute yourself then?
self pity.
That
I
feels
don't know what you
feels a bit rude, like you're not wanting to talk to me. You just kind of muted yourself completely. And then you also haven't responded to any of
that's
the three things I just said.
and
Oh, I
no, you
haven't.
haven't
Oh,
grilled
I
Sab.
haven't
It's
grilled
mostly
Sab.
you grilling me
Oh, I
half the time.
haven't grilled Sab.
Didn't grill Sab when
Let's see. Where are we at right here? We're gonna be here. So
around after.
1, 2, 3, 4. Counting this episode, of course. 5, six episodes ago. Not yet released. In fact, it will be released in about 3 weeks, but it's an episode called Neckbeard Finally Snaps. You know what that entire episode entails? Me yelling at both of you. Both of you. Do you know how many times on Discord, on Snapchat, I've called out both you and Sab for being late, not showing up on time, canceling at the last minute? Many, many, many times. And yet, again,
That big issue is the big issue at that point. Hold on. The big issue with that point is I haven't canceled an episode like that until now. Recently, when college is
are you sure you want to claim that statement?
picking up for me. I never canceled an episode.
Say it
I may
again.
have been late, but I was
Say it
never
again.
late after that.
State that once more.
What?
State once more that you were never missing
What?
for an episode.
You're pitting me as the same thing. Sab's canceled
I
on
never
us
I
multiple
never denied
times,
that factor.
and has like been
never
late
denied
all
that
the
factor.
time. But then you're lumping me in with him as if but I haven't. I've always tried to be punctual and cordial every time I come on. It's like
episode 4.
You totally forget that.
The 4th episode.
As I said in the beginning, I was late in the beginning.
You weren't late.
Because I was trying to get
Canceled on us
timing down.
last minute. That's why we did an episode without you with a guest. He was a last minute guest. We never prepared for him. We never prepared for him at all. In fact, that's the reason he's the first guest, and that's why I hate him so much. He was a shit guest because we didn't have time to prepare. Because you canceled at the very last second. Something you claim you never do. Episode 4?
No, episode 4, I'm pretty sure I didn't even cancel. I'm not going to be able to make this episode.
Was the only... No. I don't need to look back.
We can't even look back.
I don't need to go back on the text
because
I don't need to go back on the text
because the whole group chat's deleted.
Because, as I've stated beforehand, I've stated on separate occasions before. I even said episode 29. I'm pretty sure I specifically said it. He is my least favorite guest. I hated him. He's a dog shit guest, and he will never be returning. He was boring. He never listened to our rules. He never did any of that shit. That's why we changed our rules for guests at the time. Because he was an emergency guest. We never had him planned. That was never part of the episode. We had an entirely different gimmick planned. And you called out at the last second. Also, again, this has absolutely jack shit to do with the fact that you fell asleep. I just simply entertained the idea because that statement was such bullshit.
You
brought it up.
What are you
brought it up. You brought it up because you were the one who said, I never do this to you. You said, I've never done this. I could never. I'm the good little boy. What's up, Gabo?
Actually, the way he started it, my train of thought just lost itself. Give me a second. Oh, right. The thing that he said was that you only break him about it.
And again, I'm only calling attention to the one time, episode 4. So within that statement, you've also said it only happened a couple of times. And yet you said once more, and then you once again stated
with me being late.
Hold on.
In the beginning, but then I was always on time, or even before you.
Then you proceeded to state the fact that Shab does it constantly, which is true and is a fact that I reinstated. So how am I only ever doing it to you? If you barely do it, and Sab did it all the time, which again, I call him out on that shit all the time. It's why he's no longer part of this podcast. We were never supposed to talk about him again because he just up and deserted us. That's a whole nother issue. But his shit, I grilled him about constantly. And yet, once again, you play the victim because you cannot see through your own bullshit. All I wanted in this entire scenario, the reason I went to such extremes to make a fool out of this entire shit was to state the fact that all I wanted was an apology that me and Gabo never got, and that you are not the victim in this scenario. I'm not saying anyone's the victim in this scenario. It's not even a big fucking deal. I didn't give a shit. Who cares? It's a shitty podcast for like 20 people on the internet. No one watches this. Who gives a fuck? The issue is that you were so hell bent on being the victim of this scenario that you refused every other facet of reality, every other detail around this situation, and you wholeheartedly claimed and sat on the pearl of, I'm the victim here. This is your fault. I've done nothing wrong. All I wanted was for you to see the mistakes and lies you've perpetrated. But clearly, as this episode has gone into 2 hours, never worked. Never once did you agree with the fact that you might have done something wrong. Do you agree? You're just
I'm just done.
done.
As
I
is.
can't help but notice once more you're not answering the question. You're once again playing the victim here, like I'm some big bad perpetrator punching this little orphan child in the face over and over again.
Mm,
You're a grown ass man. Take some goddamn responsibility for once in your fucking life. And just all I want to hear
Dude.
is the
What the fuck
words,
you?
I'm sorry. I fell asleep. My bad. That's it. That's all. But you are fighting me tooth, nail, every fucking thing you can throw at me.
You've been a dick to me this entire podcast since it started
Sorry,
from
say
the
that again?
get-go. You've been a dick to me this entire podcast from the get-go.
That's just how we.
It isn't like I love this
but-
podcast. It's actually fun for me
That's
to
how
do.
we're friends. That's how we've always. Hold.
Like you
hold
don't
the
care
fuck
very
on.
much
Gabo,
about
did you
it,
just hear
but
what he
I
said?
do.
I just heard what he said. Did you just say I don't care about this
I
podcast?
think I did.
Who's the motherfucker who started it? Who's the motherfucker who started the channel? Who's the motherfucker who's edited every episode? Who's the motherfucker who's uploaded every single episode, every single video on the channel, no matter how many times I said you can both do it? How many times have I tried to advertise this podcast? How many times have I pushed it onto friends and family? How many times have I tried to make this the best goddamn channel imaginable? And you want to fucking sit here and look at me or whatever. You want to sit here and talk to me and say, I don't give a shit about this fucking channel? You don't think I give a shit about this podcast? I fucking love this podcast with every fiber of my being. It is all I have. And you sit here and you lie and you still claim to be the victim. Why? And again, after stating on multiple occasions that I only wanted the one thing, you still refuse to give it. You still refuse to accept the fact that you have any semblance of blame in this scenario. Was it a perfect scenario? No. Would things have gone better if this or that happened? Yeah. Did I wish we started straight at 6? Yeah. I love being cordial. I like being early myself. But you were so hell bent on the universe collapsing around you, and you just sat there being the victim in the center of it.
No.
Why? I didn't want any of this. I had ideas for this episode. You know what I wanted to do this episode? I wanted to talk about stupid shit, like trying to race a fucking ice cream truck with nitro against a Lamborghini and shit like that. I wanted to talk stupid. But you say, I don't care about this podcast. If I didn't care about this podcast, I would have canceled the episode outright. But me and Gabo wanted to prevail. We cared enough to try and continue an episode. But no, I don't care about this podcast. I don't care about this channel. Is that right? Is that correct?
From what you just said, yeah, I would assume
okay,
that you don't
how?
care about it.
Out of anything that I've ever said, out of all the actions and all the things that I've done for this channel and this podcast, how would I not care? How could you possibly skew reality to such a degree to make yourself the victim? Gabo.
I'm not shouting.
Okay, hold on. Let me
You're
take
acting
another.
like I'm
let me take a
everything.
third place. Okay, I'll say nothing. I'll
You
say
explain
nothing.
yourself. No. Fat man. Explain.
You called it a shitty little podcast. I don't like calling things whatever I put my mind and my effort to shitty or anything like that, because it looks
That's
negative.
how we've always called it.
It looks negative, like I hate it.
Podcast. It's not. We don't have high production value. We have me and a free editing software. We even talked. No, hold on. I take great offense to this whole thing.
Fat man.
Mm.
No. Let me finish something. Okay? Shiitake, is there any other reason other than that?
Other than
the
that,
fact
for what?
Other than the fact that he called it a shitty podcast, what else is telling you that he does not care?
Nothing else.
Nothing else, but I don't.
So, I want you to explain this to me. I want you to explain every single one of his friendships that he cares about.
I'll give you a hint. You two dipshits are in the call right now. That's pretty much most of you. That's at least half.
I'll also give you a hint. It's not in a nice manner. If you did not know, people treat things what they like in different ways. Some people be negative about it, or negative quote unquote, as sarcastic comments. So, to explain the fact that you just said that he does not care about this podcast because of that one thing, even though he just listed, I don't even want to count all the reasons as to why he does care about this podcast. So once again, I'll give you a chance. Is there anything else explaining why he does not care about this podcast?
And I would like to state once more, you didn't seem to have a problem when we had David Lubar, episode 24. We had David Lubar on, a crowning achievement in this podcast. In fact, I think it is the highest point of honor that we got such a man on this podcast. He called it the third best thing he did. Well, he did it. He said it's slightly better than getting his roof reshingled. Didn't have an issue with that because it's a joke. It's a goof, a gaffe. It's how I talk to everyone. It's how I describe everything. Since the beginning of our friendship, I care very deeply about our friendship. By the way, it's why I deeply enjoy this podcast. I enjoy getting to spend time with you because, truth be told, if reality was to set in, if we didn't have this podcast together, we probably would have never talked the second you walked that bus. We would have never seen again. That's why I hold this so deeply valued. But it doesn't make it any less of a shitty little podcast. It's a look at the last thumbnail, episode 31, Chowder and Cheese. It's a fucking picture of Chowder, the show, and then 3 PNGs of cheese. It doesn't make it any less funny to me. I don't enjoy it any less. It's still low quality. The highest rated, the highest viewed video of our podcast, not even all the other shit that I've done, of the podcast specifically, is 214 views. 214 views. That's pretty interesting. Well, let's go to a different podcast. Let's go to what would you describe it as? A more high quality, a more popular, whatever you want to call it, distractible.
More popular is a good way.
Well, if we went to their highest rated episode, when we go to videos, go to popular, their highest rated episode has 1.8 million views. Well, I don't know if you know how big that is. So let's do 1.8 million. I know, let's do that.
I know-
Divided by
I know what 1.8
200.
million views is.
That is 8,823 times the views on ours. Granted, I don't tend to look at stuff like that. I'm just glad people are watching it. We're not even counting the other 39,429 views that video got, just the 1.8 million. Whether you like it or not, a low budget, low effort, enjoyable podcast. We're the candy bar of the podcast world. We're not distractible. We're not the Joe Rogan podcast. We're not sitting here with millions of and thousands of dollars to pour into this. We're just a couple of dipshits who thought, you know what would be funny? What if we recorded some of our stupid ass conversations? Then why?
Yeah, I know that.
Why do you say I don't love or care about this? Because I called it shit? Because I called it shit? I call you a piece of shit all the time. I call Gabo a piece of shit all the time. You two are my best fucking friends. And again, once more, despite divulging into another tangent that had nothing to do with the original scenario, you still have never seen past the fact that you're the victim in this scenario. Not once have you shown a single glimmer of hope into realizing that maybe you were at fault. And to this point, even still, you refuse to argue the main point. You refuse to argue anything other than you being the victim and me being the big old piece of shit that I am. How hard is it for you to say, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. My bad.
But you're not even taking into account.
Hold
I
on.
have a life
Are you
of
saying
my
we
own.
don't?
I have stuff
I go to
do. I
college
have to
full
take
time.
care of
I
my
have 5
family.
classes. I just started a job full time.
But-
40. Exactly.
I'm doing the same thing.
Have I
You're
ever complained about having to stay up until 3 in the morning? Yes, of course I have. But I do it because I have to edit the videos. But do I not love it? I absolutely adore this and I wouldn't trade it for the world. That's why I stay up until 3 in the morning to edit some of these episodes. But you couldn't stay awake for 5 minutes. And yet you still claim that I'm the asshole who doesn't love this, doesn't care, anything. And all I'm looking for in all of this, the most reasonable thing ever, we could have gotten this done in 2 minutes and then had a regular episode. But instead, now we have an over 2-hour long episode of me doing this whole lawyer bit to get the point across that you see yourself as the victim and refuse to apologize in any way, shape, or form. Me and Gabo have already apologized. We've already paid our due diligence. What about you? Say you're sorry. That's it. That's all that needs to happen in this entire scenario. And we can end the episode right here. There's plenty of an episode to go around. I think this was a quite enjoyable episode, all things considered. I think it's very funny when I listen back to it out of the heat of the moment. You don't care, because all you say.
I'm sorry
Say
for
it,
falling asleep.
but mean it. You can just say it. It's too late for.
I'm sorry for falling asleep. If you That's what you
What was the
wanted.
if you?
I'm sorry for falling asleep.
Were you about to perhaps defend yourself again? Were you about to Gabo?
I didn't say if you. I didn't
Okay.
say if you.
Alright.
I said
I did not hear an
if
iffy.
you want.
Fine. I guess I'm the asshole in this scenario. That's fine. And I will end today's episode of Shit Podcast, Back of the Short Bus Podcast, YouTube.com.